Peace and blessings. I'm so excited to be here. Welcome to the space. This is Shemekka Ebony.
And what's going on, everyone? This is Michael Stewart-Isaacs. Happy to be here on another wonderful Sunday Stacks edition.
Absolutely. Welcome to the space. We come to you with messages of joy, hope, inspiration, motivation, and revelation. And this week will be no different on Sunday Stacks. But as always, as we tap into those of us that are joining on the Live Podcast Network, thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate your contribution going to make a difference in the lives of many as we continue to get this message centering family, community, and company in a way that will help us grow and build back better, stack stronger, and build a better version of ourselves week for week. So this week we will kick it off as we always do and checking in with each other with how's it stacking. So Michael, how's it stacking for you this week?
Oh my goodness, what a week it's been. I mean, I'm so grateful sometimes just to do this with Sunday Stacks because where else do you get a chance to reflect on what you do week for week? And for me, this week has been a unique week closing out the month of February. Yes, we were closing out Black History Month. And as always, as a constant perfectionist, I love to do what's called continuing education. Are you familiar with that? Continuing
Oh,
education.
absolutely.
Yeah, so for those out there who wonder, when we talk about FCC and we discuss all the phenomenal opportunities that we get blessed to have the opportunity to be a part of with Sunday Stacks, I Am Brilliant, just all the work we're doing, one of the things I have to constantly do is be a learner. I have to constantly make sure that I'm out there learning what's the newest, latest, greatest thing. So this week was no different. I had an opportunity to grow to some phenomenal courses that reflected on everything from the green is the gold, like focusing on the sustainability economy or doing programs that are talking about patents and how to file patents correctly. Like, yeah, yes, we file patents in these streets. So as I'm developing myself and continuing to grow as a leader, as a CEO, as an executive, I always have to make sure that I'm a part of things that keep on sharpening my intelligence,
That's
sharpening my
good.
awareness, my insight. So therefore, when people need an answer, I have it to give. And that comes with continuing education. So that was part of how my week was stacking. Also, this week was definitely something that I would say was a wonderful occasion for me as a father because there were just so many, family lessons this week that I was able to kind of, glean from.
You can say that.
Oh my goodness. I mean, y'all have no clue what we got to go through sometimes here. Just, I mean, it sounds good to talk about how good your business is doing and sometimes even in your community, but it's been a week. But this week, it's something I realized just in my parenting journey. I was realizing that, in the full spirit of family, community, and company, I want to discuss the whole job of parenting and understand that sometimes as a parent, I had to learn just taking a lesson back from having to check my kid this week. I realized that sometimes we got to check you to correct you. So therefore, God has the room to perfect you and redirect you.
Mm,
And
mm.
we have to get into that spirit of understanding that parenting is a full-time job.
Lots of snaps. I don't know if y'all
Oh
know
man,
that
y'all
in
better know that.
podcast
So
world.
making sure your kids are on the right path, making sure that they have awareness of self. And, one thing I was talking to one of my kids about was what it was called exorcism of selfishness, right?
Mm,
Getting the selfish
that's
out of
awesome.
ourselves. And, even as a parent, we have to get our own selfishness out of the way because we can get
Absolutely.
distracted by continuing education. We can get distracted by, our work demands. We can get distracted by travel. We can get distracted by so many things that seem like a great opportunity, but at what cost? And that's
Right.
something
That's a trade-off.
there's a trade-off. So that's something that I was dealing with this week and how it was stacking. I'm gonna get you in on this, Shemekka. How was it stacking for you this week?
Absolutely, I'm right there in alignment. Of course, we were there to go through the journeys with our family together this week, and something very powerful I wanted to lift up about what you said about the check you, correct you, and God will perfect you and redirect you. I think that's so powerful. My takeaway for this week in this area of stacking. Just growing from what you shared is the importance of understanding that families that communicate have the opportunity to grow together.
There you go.
Families that are connected have an opportunity to grow together. And so when we get out of sync of that in family, then we'll see some kinks showing up, some doors left open,
Hmm.
some opportunities that we may not have wanted to address or connect with based on how we are disconnected to our family unit and our source. So we were able to kind of help our young people this week get back in touch with who they are and remembering who they are, because I think the absence of remembering who you are and what you're called to sometimes limits our ability to be the best version of ourselves, because we're trying to be what somebody else wants us to be and not who God has called us to be.
I love it. I love it. So, word on the street as a stacker for you. I heard we had some Grammy and Papalaurean time this week. Is that a part of the family stacking this week?
Yeah, that would absolutely be in the family stacking this week. And I just want to say one of my takeaways with that when I think about how's it stacking is that the entrepreneurship journey has afforded me the privilege to be able to be present for my family and be there without having to feel like I'm letting somebody else down, or I have to answer to another boss somewhere, or somebody else has control of telling me when I can be there for my children. And I left that life a long time ago in faith to know and believe and be a forerunner in being a model of what that looks like. And so we were in Grammy and Papalaurean mode this week with stacking and still had to keep up with our business. So, when we do it well. And from the beginning, when I chose Grammy as my name, it was about us being winners. And we don't lose, we learn, we win, and if we're learning, then we're winning, and we win when we winning. So that was the revelation of this week, and the gratitude of being able to be there for my kids, and that was stacking. So yeah, that photo drop will be coming soon
I
because
love
she
it.
is just precious and growing so big. But in addition to that, when I think about now, we are in Women's History Month.
Yay! Shout out all the dope women making history out there.
Okay, history, her story, however you want to connect, we are celebrating you. And so it was very moving for me to be able to kick off Women's History Month as a keynote with a leadership and empowerment session with Community Girls Advocacy Network out of Sierra Leone. So I was virtual, I was all the way in Bo, Sierra Leone, Saturday morning, 2 a.m. our time here in the States, 7 a.m. In their time. And these young girls were ready, up, ready, excited, singing songs, ready to hear something about transformation and leadership and empowerment and finding their voice. And I'm so glad I was able to meet them where they were and give them something to look forward to, in addition to tons of resources to help empower them to continue to advocate in their communities to be the change that they want to see. We had bakers, we had fashion designers, we had social media influencers, we had those that are writers, we have those that are community connectors, and we took some time to check in with them on what makes them brilliant and help them find a pathway through leadership and empowerment to be that change they want to see in their community. And so, shout out to Monica Kabia, the executive director of Kogan in Sierra Leone. She's been orchestrating this since 2019, but this was the first year that they had their girls' conference, their first annual National Girls Conference. And so I was so honored to kick off their Saturday morning. And definitely look out for the video. We did record it because we wanted to make sure that other young girls across the globe can grow and glean from these resources to be better versions of themselves. So I was excited to be able to be a part of that this week. And we are also gearing up in
Tell them what we about to do,
the
Shemekka.
wonderful spirit of excellence and empowerment. We are on our way to be special guests of Black Enterprise at their Women of Power Summit that they're having in Las Vegas.
Let's go, Las Vegas. Viva
Yes.
Las Vegas.
Let's go. So I am appreciative that the word is spreading, the energy is spreading, the contagion of being the change that we want to see that I've been igniting for such a long time has opened doors for me that I have continued to pursue to take them off the hinges so other people can come through me, around me, with me, and behind me. And so I'm grateful to be able to be representative of Shemekka a representative of Black Girl Magic Market, representative of I Am Brilliant. We bringing all of
All of the
our brands
brands.
into the space to meet and greet and connect with the Women of Power Summit and those that are coming from all across the country to meet and convene and talk about the things that are important to us as women of influence and power, whether it's in corporate, whether it's in your own corporate business, whether you're working for someone else. We want to tap in and engage. So if you see us walking around with our I Am Brilliant sign, you see us in a session, or you hear us on a platform, or you hear us holding court, please make sure you stop by and say you heard that that we were gonna be there from the Sunday Stacks podcast, and we got something for you.
I love that. And I want to say congratulations to you, Shemekka, as
Thank
a
you.
woman in Women's History Month who is making so many moves, trailblazing, doing it through community and doing it in a way that is honorable. I love the journey, just being a part of it. Of course, I like to think of myself as Shemekka's documentarian, so I got so many clips and, just watching the process over the last 10 years of how you've taken what you were building and empowering people in community and now you've kind of transitioned into an entrepreneur who's still creating moments to empower women in particular that can really help them shape new imaginations for their lives. With your book, While I'm Getting Naked, it's changed so many lives in terms of helping women understand the power of their vulnerability. So I just want to say kudos to you this Women's History Month and all the
Thank
other
you.
amazing women that are going to be at the Women's of Power Summit for for Black Enterprise, or just women in general across the spectrum that are just doing amazing things to really help our society, our country, our globe really be empowered, be focused on ways that are different paths towards the way everyone's well being can be thought about and considered. So, thank you for being one of those women that are making the difference.
Oh, to God be the glory. I'm grateful. And it really ties into just holding this space. We as women carry many hats, and this will smoothly sail us into our next segment that is about our Soulful Sunday segment. And the topic that we're talking about this week is how you are feeding your spirit. For me, this is significant and important because I think about how many hats we wear as women, all the various things we do, how much we pour out, and how many times we may find ourselves pouring from an empty cup. And so this week's Soulful Sunday helps us recenter how it is important to make sure that we are not only filling our cup, but we're filling our family's cup with spiritual food that will help nurture the spiritual foundation of your family. And so, with this, we have a monthly women's group that we connect with here in our neighborhood. And this week was about talking to us about being watchmen on the wall in our families, in our communities, and companies, how we're doing this, how we helping others, how we watching and preparing and praying for things to cover us and protect us. And one of the activities I thought was pretty cool that I brought home and I'm instilling it here in our home is we made a scripture board, and so it was a really cool activity. I was able to put together a scripture of the week. And so what I wanted to do, I didn't want just to be an opportunity for me to grow. But when we talk about feeding our spirit, there's opportunities where we can not only feed our own spirit, but we can bring that living water to our family. And so we have a now in our home, we have a scripture board that has a scripture of the week on it. I was so excited to create this craft, and this week's scripture is coming from Psalm 51 and 10. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. And if any of you ever have felt like David, then you know exactly where this scripture is in Psalm and the energy we usually feel when we have it. So if you haven't had a moment to refill your cup today, take this scripture to fuel not only you, but let it fuel your family. Have that reset that you need. Get that recentering in your God compass this week and ask God in prayer to create that right spirit within you. Clean your heart. Let you get rid of all the stinking thinking that may be weighing you down and delaying the progress of the growth of your family, community, and company. So I just wanted to come through and drop that soulful nugget under the Soulful Sunday segment. How does this resonate with you, Michael?
I love this so much. I mean, I really have to take a moment. Sometimes in each episode, we like to prepare ourselves, but this one hit me differently, especially with the momentum of our conversation. And I just have to really ask myself, I know I talked earlier about feeding my mental to prepare for business. But sometimes we don't take enough time to really feed our spirit, to really make sure that it's amplified in a way that helps us continue to grow and build into the resilient humans that we're
Mhm.
meant to be through God, right? Our resiliency doesn't come through ourselves, it comes through God's will for us and
Mm.
God's love
Thank you,
and
God.
compassion and forgiveness. And I think what happens sometimes is we don't have the resources. I was talking with my son this week, and he had a situation going on, and one thing he made very clear that really stuck out to me was he was saying he didn't have the right information. And I realized that when we feed ourselves with the spirit, when we feed ourselves in the spirit, we're always going to have the right information because
Mhm.
God takes over and allows for the wisdom to set in. And I think that's what people don't realize is that wisdom comes by way of being in the spirit, truly understanding what God is calling for you, even in difficult times, to allow for us to make shifts and make adjustments. I really believe God is a gardener. And just like anything we put in our garden, we put in our system, you're going to get back out the results of whatever you put in. And so for me as a man, I'm making a pledge, even looking at this week of Lent coming up, I'm looking at ways to change my diet, change my health, change my regimen, even
Mhm.
with my businesses improving and growing and getting me to places of economic improvements. I still have to make sure that I'm healthy enough to be here and be present to continue to be the servant that
Yes.
God needs me to be to help other people's lives with the work that we do to impact, as well as I have to have the energy to enjoy the things that I'm working so hard to do. So that's something in my own commitment to feed my spirit, grow as a man, continue to learn in wisdom, but also take care of my health and make sure that I'm capable of being all of what God is calling me to be on this earth. So I thank you so much for feeding me today with this wisdom you shared today on Soulful Sunday.
Listen, and our scripture board is in a place where all can see because it's not just about me feeding my own spirit, but I took what I learned, and we could do this with church, y'all. For those of you that go to church, I took what I learned and I brought it home around people that may not have attended with me, but I created the opportunity for them to grow too. I create the opportunity for them to learn too. So, as you are feeding your soul and your spirit, remember those around you that are in close proximity, especially for those that are nurturers, especially for those that are stewards or even the priests in their house that are the spiritual covering. Use these opportunities to maximize. I didn't keep it to myself. I didn't get real constipated on the goodness of God. I took quick measures to make sure that I was spreading that goodness and that truth to our family, and we're going to be keeping that up. That may be what we fill our Soulful Sunday segment up with is whatever our scripture of the week is, and whatever revelations our family comes together and comes out of that. So I'm really excited about implementing this new thing, and shout out to the women's group here in our neighborhood that inspired it because it really is a catalyst of change. I talk about this with While I'm Getting Naked, the reflective journal, that if you get the journal, then make sure you read it with those that are around you, your significant others, those that you are in covenant or relationship with. And if you are some good girlfriends, y'all have this opportunity to grow and reflect and shed off the things that you don't like to make room for who God has ordained for you all to be. And this reflective journal really helps you get to that so that you can be ready to receive and not too depleted and burnt out that you miss the opportunity to have your cup refilled again. So if you don't have your copy of While I'm Getting Naked, you can get your copy at Shemekka.com. Make sure to visit that, tap into it, get some testimonial, read some reviews and reflections, see some videos of other people whose lives have been transformed by it, and get your copy and then let us know how your life has been transformed.
I love it. And also, too, while we're taking a moment for announcements, I want to make sure you all check out anything that you enjoyed here. You can find out more about us. I'm a speaker. Shemekka's a speaker. You can check me out at Stewart-Isaacs.com. That's with a dash, a hyphen, Stewart-Isaacs.com. And it'll allow for you to check us out and see some of the speaking work that we're capable of doing, as well as please definitely check out our sponsor, I Am Brilliant, and IamBrilliant.org. Definitely check out IamBrilliant.org. We're doing some really amazing things with helping organizations find ways to get their messages across. And we're so excited about how 2025 is starting for this new endeavor for I Am Brilliant. So we're definitely grateful for check out IamBrilliant.org and find a way that you can really make sure that your logo, brand, or message can sign in a whole new way. So definitely IamBrilliant.org. So Shemekka, it's that time.
Yes, it is.
Is that time for the Whiz of the week. Yes, whiz of the week. And oh my goodness, this whiz of the week is electric. I mean, we're talking about the argument that was heard around the globe. Yes. President Trump and President Zelensky of Ukraine got together and oh my goodness, sparked flied. I mean, it went from uh, President Zelensky trying to state his purpose of what the history was between the Russian and Ukraine aggressions and JD Vance getting involved and telling Zelensky he's not humble enough and not thankful enough, and Trump getting
Mhm.
involved, feeling like Zelensky done told him what America's gonna feel if they don't help beyond the Russia conflict. I mean, it got heated, and everyone around the globe. I mean, we literally saw a realignment of the globe in one day, like
Mhm.
nothing we've ever seen before. And we knew this man was gonna shake things up, but oh my goodness, did this man go so far? And also, too, unfortunately, we have to discuss the tragic death of wonderful, wonderful singer, songstress. I mean, prophetess, whatever,
Legend.
legend Angie Stone. The
Yes.
legendary Angie Stone unfortunately passed away due to a car accident, a vehicle crash. It was definitely something that it really breaks our heart. She's someone who we were fortunate within the last few months to have seen at an event. Shemekka was a part of, she was an award winner at, and we had an opportunity to see this living legend in the flesh. And she is amazing, y'all. Humble spirit, powerful voice, and just a huge loss for our community and our culture. So definitely want to send condolences to her
Condolences,
family,
yes.
just letting them know that hey, here at Sunday Stacks, we honor who Angie Stone is to the world and what her music meant and what it's going to continue to mean as new generations discover who she is. And as also too, we want to discuss the mocking of black women by black men for clicks. Now this is
Mm.
deep now, Shemekka. I'm gonna let you touch on all of these things. I done laid them out and I gave some background. Now let them know why they need to not be distracted by these wizards of the week.
It is so important for us to know that these situations like Trump and his grandstanding and global disrespect to the policy, procedure, and protocol of the most esteemed office of presidency. I have seen so many people be surprised. You know, I'm just literally watching. I'm watching people be so shocked that this man that they may have very likely elected for whatever reason is just stirring up a lot of stuff all over. And so these things are meant to jar and get you jarred. Really, when we look at what we saw with Zelensky and Trump, that is a reality TV star attacking a former comedian.
Say that again.
A reality TV star attacking a former comedian. So when we look at the impact and the fact that during this engagement, Trump said, "Oh no, this is good that the American people can see this." So he wanted to be on full display to show his bullying techniques and his willingness to minimize the harm, pain, and anguish that a country has been experiencing through the attack and brutal attacks of Russia against Ukraine. So that's what I'm gonna say about that.
Well, you already know Putin and Trump, but that's his homeboy.
Yeah, that's
So this has always been ticking, but he showed who he really is with this.
yeah. So with the passing of Miss Angie Stone, her transition was definitely felt. It is definitely felt. It just happened on Saturday. She was literally wrapping up a show Friday night on her way to the CIAA to be able to perform at the halftime on that. She was still, you know, even in her 60s, moving and shaking, celebrating. But when we saw her receive her Lifetime Achievement Award, when all the attention, praise was on her, she redirected everyone back to God. She talked about her faith. She talked about without God, she wouldn't have been able to make it this far. So let that message be what you center and resonate, even through the sadness of feeling the loss of this wonderful soul. We have her music that is still here, but we have her life lessons of recentering God and making sure that God is your center. And one powerful thing saw this week in the video that she shared was the importance of understanding that you may have faith in God, but the people you work with may not.
Mm.
And to be prepared for that and to guard yourself for that. So I just want to lift that. And then this whole thing about The mocking of black women by black men. I've been seeing this for years, and it is so troubling. It's like a gender version of blackface, is how it feels to see black men dress up as women in bad taste. I mean, bad makeup, purposefully bad makeup, bad wigs, emulating what they feel like black women look like and act like, and we're monetized. Well, black men, people
Take your time. Take your time now. Take your time in the church.
are monetizing on degrading and disrespecting women for clicks, for a viral moment. How disrespectful. And this is more specifically to the video of Serena Williams that came out, and the gentleman was mocking her after her performance at halftime. So disrespectful. And then I was watching the video that had the commentary around how disrespectful this other black woman felt, as to how you can't backtrack it and be mindful. Like, you can't backtrack once you put poison out there on social media, you can't erase it. Word bad energy is like toothpaste. Once you get it out the tube, it can't go back in. And when we see this level of disrespect, we see this level of, I mean, people were just had all kinds of opinions on how she looked. And then they tried to one up the last video by making her, the mockery of her, even more egregious. Somebody had a horse head on their covering their head in one of the videos. This is dangerous. And if you are a black man doing this type of thing for clickbait and for likes and
Come
wins,
on, bruh.
be warned. Your
Come
mama
on,
is
bruh.
a black woman. So when you
Come
dress
on,
up like
bruh.
that, think about your mama.
Mm. I mean, hey, as a black man who would not at any point create these types of images, I want to say, on behalf of all black men, these men out here don't have any other idea, skill sets, or thoughts they have but to create these images of mockery and ridicule a powerful woman. They're just jealous. I think that's really what it is that the success of someone like a Serena Williams and so many other powerful black women intimidate those who are weak. So thus the only thing they can do is degrade them by making these references to their looks, or trying to break them down somehow to say, well, why do you have what I wish I had?
She makes
And
history being a Grand Slam champion, and you make history with a viral click.
I mean that's disappointing, but unfortunately, with the reality president that we have in this world,
Reality
I
star
mean, these are the
president.
kind of things that we're going to continue to unfortunately see more of. I
Let's
wish it
do
was
better.
different. We got to do better. That's why you should be listening to the Sunday Stacks
And this is
podcast.
why you'll understand why it's the whiz of the week, because it's a distraction.
Yeah.
Even if you're harming someone, even if you're clowning someone, even if you're joking on someone, just imagine the impact of the erasable internet that you started a fire on,
Mm.
and how it will come back and get you.
It does. It always does,
It
don't it?
always, it don't matter how many years the trolling police will find what you put that you thought was so buried by your other 1,500 posts on puppy dogs and ice cream. They will go back and find these things like this that you use for the come up, whether you're a comedian, whether you are trying to be a viral sensation. Just know that this will come back to you. And if you're a black man doing this, just know your mama black.
Mm. Well, with that said, Shemekka, you've said a lot. And this Wizard of the Week has been definitely impactful, and I hope you stop it. Stop it. Black men, stop it.
Stop. You
Men
know
in
better.
general, I mean, I don't care if you're white, well, people I call formerly white men,
Yes.
and these others out here, just I don't care what country you from, where you from, the background, don't do it. Leave our black women alone. Kings like myself aren't having it, and we're not gonna stand for it. And we're gonna make sure we flag those type of content. We got to do more to really protect our women. Overall, we need to protect all women, but our black queens definitely need to be protected. I don't care how they look to you. I don't care what you think about them, but you do not disrespect them under any circumstances. And you heard it here first from Michael Stewart-Isaacs here at Sunday
That's it.
Stacks all
Please.
day. And don't play with me because I'm out here in the South. I'm from New York, from Brooklyn. I don't play that. I don't play that. I'll catch you quick. I mean, especially don't ever talk about my wife. Let me tell you that very clearly. You better only be calling her her name because you understand that she is a brand award winner and a phenomenal role model to this world. But if you say anything else but something that won't, ooh,
It's all
ooh,
right. Okay,
let me
baby.
leave
It's
it
okay.
alone. Let me leave it
It's
alone.
okay.
This is a family show.
It's okay. Look,
So with that being
they can
said,
call me, but I ain't got to answer to you.
right, right. So Shemekka, go ahead and give us the cleanup. What else do people need to know to make
Make
sure to keep
sure,
checking in?
make sure if you have not done so already, check us out on sundaystacks.com. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure that you subscribe to the Live Podcast Network. This network is established for Black voices to be amplified in the podcast world. So if you want to not only support our voice here at Sunday Stacks by subscribing on the podcast network, you can also check out other podcasters that are doing some incredible things as we're helping this Black woman owned business be able to build capacity and grow a safe space for podcasters like us to be able to have their voice captured, heard, and spread around the globe with the message of hope with our Sunday Stacks, helping us stack up week for week. Definitely stay tuned and stay connected to when we may be on the road. Of course, we've already lifted up. We're going to be in Vegas this week, so look out for our Vegas community. We want to see you. Come on through. Come through to the Bellagio.
Balaji,
Say
yo.
hello. Say you heard us on Sunday Stacks, and we have something for you.
Okay, let's do that.
Mhm.
I love it. I love it. So, Shemek, I think we done gave him an episode now. So I appreciate you so much for your words of wisdom and just your reflections on these distractions in our lives. As always, we like to remind you just make sure you like and subscribe, leave comments. We want to hear what you all think. A lot
Mhm.
of things to talk about in this episode. So we appreciate your time. As always, we like to remind everyone that
I
I am
am
brilliant
brilliant,
and
and you
you
are
are too.
too.
Thank you again for checking us out on this edition of Sunday Stacked, and we will see you next week. Peace.